Welcome back. I had a wonderful student come and visit me the other day, and he said something really interesting, and I think this is something that a lot of people feel. So I wanted to bring it up to you. And he said, a lot of times I have this guilt that I'm just not doing enough. I can never seem to do enough. So I'd like to tell you a story about that. And this story comes from Ramakrishna, one of my heroes. Love Ramakrishna. So I want to talk a little bit about Ramakrishna, tell his story, and how it relates to that guilt. So let's get into it. Ramakrishna is one of these amazing souls. And I know which part of the brain he had a little bit easier access to because he was a child walking through India and he looked up into the sky. It must have been a rainy, cloudy day. He looked up in the sky. It was a black, dark sky full of rain clouds. And here comes a white crane, and the white crane passes through the sky. And the stark white crane against the black sky was so gorgeous and so beautiful that beauty overwhelmed him, and he fell over. He fell over, collapsed on the ground, and went into a profound state of overwhelming bliss. And this is profound. When I talk about the big bliss, this is the big bliss. When you have the real big bliss, it completely incapacitates you. You can't even move. So most of the time, we're just trying to get a little taste of that. We don't need the big bliss all the time. But this is what it looks like. He fell down. He was incapacitated. And the villagers, they found him and they realized he was in an altered state. How perceptive, right? They realized he was in an altered state and they took him home and they laid him down and he was fine. But oh my God, how blissed out. Isn't that beautiful? Just, oh my God, it is so gorgeous. And he just falls over in bliss. Isn't that wonderful? That's the level that we can taste. We don't have to go into it that deep, but we can taste it from the left amygdala over and over and over again. When I'm teaching the Gayatri mantra, I'm teaching how to use this part of your brain, how to use it day after day after day. Use the Gayatri mantra with this part of your brain. Use it day after day after day and create this relationship with this blissful part of your brain. So when we use the HRV resonance, we're learning to very, very slowly sense the bliss in the parasympathetic system. It's right on that edge of the parasympathetic system. So we're learning to feel that bliss inside of the body. This bliss of the heart and the left amygdala is the very, very big and overwhelming bliss. And again, we don't need that overwhelming sense of it. Just a little taste of it day after day after day will change your life forever. Of course, right? This is the Kriya Yoga Bliss program in the 1-2 punch, right? So we got the jab of the dorsal vagal complex, and we have the knockout punch of the heart of the left amygdala. That's the same thing. And that bliss program, the way it's working inside of you is that you get a little bliss here and there, and it gets a little harder to take life and all of your problems so seriously, and you start to transcend. And that transcendence into the upper nervous system, that's what it's all about. That was the whole goal. Like my guru Ashokji told me, lodge yourself with the Kriya. Do whichever Kriya lodges you the most powerfully into the medulla. In other words, have a roll-up of consciousness into the upper nervous system and taste the deep brain. That's the whole Kriya program in a nutshell. Amazing. And this is why he always pointed me towards bliss. Just point yourself towards bliss. It's going to lead you in the correct direction. It's going to lead you towards the upper nervous system, towards the answers of transcendence. So Ramakrishna, very, very special. He won the brain lottery. The yogis would say, well, this is from his past works. He has done work in a previous life as a yogi from before. And so he was born with a little more access to that left amygdala, which would enable him to have that experience where he touched the overwhelming big bliss and it completely incapacitated him and he passed out on the road. So Ramakrishna grows up a little bit, and his brother is a priest at the Kali temple. And his brother invites him to come and help with the duties. So he comes and he starts helping. And through that experience, he becomes very, very, very absorbed into the higher self as the Divine Mother. And he's praying and he's praying and he's praying to Kali. And eventually, she starts to come out of the statue, walk around, and talk to him. So he's having these really, really deep experiences, these profound downloads, which are extremely vivid. He's having waking visions day after day with Kali Ma over and over and over again. And he would go into these blissful, left amygdala, ecstatic trances over and over again, seeing her, talking with her, and people started to come from all around to come and learn from Ramakrishna. What's even more beautiful is at some point he said, I did this work for Kali Ma. I wonder if it's true about Jesus. There are all these Christians here. Can I use this same process for Jesus? And so he switches his favorite, his Ishta, to Jesus. And he finds out it works perfectly. It works the same exact way. And he starts to commune with Jesus. He starts to sit and talk with Jesus the Christ as his favorite, as his Ishta, you see, because he's learning how to use the left amygdala. He's learning how it works. It's a system, and he's found the way that it actually works. And that was not enough. He said, well, there's all these people who are devotees of Hanuman. I should try that. I should see if this also works for Hanuman. So again, he uses the same devotional process through the left amygdala, and lo and behold, it works just fine for Hanuman as well. And this is really proving my point, that you choose your favorite, or you figure out which one really appeals to my heart right now at this moment, and that is your favorite form of the divine. It is the mask that is covering the infinite form of the divine, and now I can have a dualistic conversation with you because you're bloody hard to talk to when you're infinite. And that's what Ramakrishna was doing. So the teachings of Ramakrishna are really, really deep and amazing for this reason. So I highly recommend anything that you can read about Ramakrishna or read his stories. And this is the story I want to tell today. So my student comes, he's like, I feel like I'm never doing enough. I have this guilt inside of me, I can't do enough. And so I reminded him about this story from Ramakrishna. And the story goes like this. So the divine is talking with this angel, and he goes, I'd really like you to go out, and I'd like you to check on one of my devotees. This one is very near and dear to me. And so I'd like you to go check on him. And so the angel comes down, and it's this farmer. And the farmer's plowing his field, and he sees this angel approaching him, and he sees the glow on him. And he says, oh my God, you must be a messenger from the highest of the high. And I recognize the brilliance that is on top of you, and thank God you've come. I work so hard. I forget the divine over and over again, 1,000,000 times. And for long, long hours I will forget him. But now and then I will stop and I will just think of nothing but him. I will stop everything that I am doing, all of my duties, and I will just stop and think of him, and I will contemplate him. And of course, this is not the answer that the angel is expecting. The divine said, this is the dearest, one of my dearest of the dear. And he's forgetting the divine for hours and hours, and he just thinks of him for 5 minutes here and there. Are you crazy? What's going on? So the angel is not very impressed, and he hurries back to the divine. He says, well, I saw your devotee, and he forgets you for hours, and I don't understand. You said this one is dearest of dear to your heart. How can this be? And the divine laughs. And he laughs and he says, here, I have a task for you. And this is a holy divine task. I want you to take it very seriously. And he gives him a bowl of oil, which is filled to the brim. And he says, I want you to walk all the way around the earth. And when you're finished, come back to me. And the angel says, okay. So he takes the bowl. It's filled to the brim with oil. He doesn't want to spill one drop because the divine said, don't spill anything. And he's walking and he walks all the way around the earth. And he finally makes it back. And he comes to the divine. He says, oh my God, sweating like crazy. I have fulfilled your task, and I have not dropped one bit of oil from this bowl. He's very proud. Oh, I did it. I did not drop one drop. And the divine says, oh, that's great. So how many times did you think about me during all of this? Oh my goodness. I didn't think about you at all. My whole mind was on the oil and the task that you gave me. I could not drop one bit of oil from the bowl. That's all I could think about. And the divine looks at him and he says, well, look at my devotee and all the things that he must carry. His family, his business, his farm, his animals, his children, his colleagues, his employees, everything which he is holding, and he cannot drop any one of them. And yet still, he remembers me from time to time. And you, an angel, could not do one simple turn around the earth and still remember me. Now do you understand how dear this one is to me? The angel says, oh my God, I get it. Oh my God. Here I am judging him. I could not even do one simple task, and he is doing so many tasks and holding all of that, and still he spends time to remember you. Here you are in this crazy mixed up world, which is so hard and so confusing and so frightening and so mixed up, and yet still you have forged the time to be in peace, to lower your heart rate, to get into the freeze, to find your left amygdala, to find your heart, to transcend the lower chakras, to climb up and begin to commune with your upper nervous system, to begin to commune with your deeper brain, to begin to commune with the higher self. You have no idea what that means to your higher self. The Bhagavad Gita says, out of 1 million, one seeks me. And out of 1 million that seeks me, one finds me. And you are finding all of this. You are finding it so gorgeously. And that effort which you are making, not one drop is missed by the divine, by the higher self. All of this is witnessed by your higher self. Every speck is written down with love and care. In a world which has lost the sight of the right brain, you are finding it. What a treasure that is. What a treasure you are. And this was Ramakrishna's story, the king of bhaktis, the king of lovers of the higher self. This was his story to share with you. So abandon that guilt and embrace the story of love which you are in. So I hope that you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you.